Hey guys, how's it going today? I just want to do a little update on what I got going on. I haven't done a video in a while, so let's give you a little update of what I got. Check out my shop. If you watched my shop video the other day, see I got a new buffer. I'll show you that in a second. Really messy and unorganized, and I'm missing a lathe and a lathe, but I got my lathe bed right there and a messy bench. So let me show you a few of the things I got going on here. Alright, check this out. I recently ran across this guy for really cheap, and what this is this is a Baldor half horse 3450 RPM buffer, and I took the plate off because what I ended up doing to this thing is I repainted it. The guy I got it from got it for free, and then I paid him 50 bucks for it because that's all they needed to get out of it, I guess. So and then I took it apart and repainted it, and then I noticed my lighting's not very good, but after I repainted it I forgot to do my end caps here, but I'll pull those off and redo it. And then I haven't put my plate back on here yet, but for 50 bucks it's like that's a hell of a deal for a Baldor buffer. The only thing I had to do to it, I got this wheel with it, and I got an abrasive wheel with it, but it's pretty much shot. I did have to come here and, I did replace the bearings again. I put some new old stock, what are they, Fafnar bearings. So I found some of those on eBay, and they slid, well, they had to be pressed on, but so it's nice and quiet now. And then I had to find a left-handed nut for this side. So now I got a nut for that side, so I'll just have to make some plates and whatever I decide to put on there, but crank it on here. It's about it's a Baldor buffer, that's about what they are. And it shuts off nice, it's nice and quiet, so that's awesome. Hell of a deal for 50 bucks, and a little bit of time, a little bit of paint. I've always wanted one, but never wanted to spend 400 bucks on a brand new one, so there we go, my new buffer. Alright, next item of business. I saw an ad on Craigslist the other day for an estate sale, and it was one of those estate sales that you kind of like to go to because there's a lot of tools and junk, and it was a house that was, you know, a 20-year in progress not a restoration, but a, refab, whatever you want to call it. Older guy, but anyways, he had some a metal lathe and a wood lathe and some miscellaneous tools and stuff, but they sold that before I got there, and then I got there and I saw some of this stuff, and it was originally priced like 40 bucks a piece, and I was like, oh boy, I don't want to spend that much on these guys right now. But here's a Grizzly keyless chuck. I think they sell this chuck for like 70 bucks brand new, without the shank. And so I went there the first or the second day, and I offered her, the gal that was running it, 20 bucks because she's like, oh, those are expensive. And I said, well, yeah, but it's not a it's not an all-brick chuck, it's a kind of a knockoff of one. So 20 bucks, I got that guy with the shank, and it's a half, what is it, 1/32 to 5/8, so that's nice. And then the last day of the sale I went back and talked to her a little bit, and she said, well, whatever you want is like half price, or make me an offer, because otherwise, tomorrow at noon the junk guy is coming and all this stuff's going away. And I was like, oh boy. So I saw this guy and it fell out of the bag. I don't know what happened to the bag, but I don't know, I think it was 40 bucks too, like this one. And I asked the lady, I was like, what will you take for that one, on the last day at like 5 o'clock when she was about ready to leave? She's like, well, what would you like to pay for it? And I said, well, what I would like to pay for it, or what you want for it? She's like, what do you want to pay for it? I said, I'll give you 5 bucks. She's like, okay, sold. And I was like, awesome. So I'm not sure what brand that is. C7 maybe, but it's a 0 to 1/2 inch, and it's got a shank. See, both these shanks, I don't know, he must guy had a pretty new Grizzly lathe and he marred them up. I don't know how you do that, but somehow he pulled it off. But the chuck's in pretty nice shape. It's nice and smooth. And then last but not least, I saw this guy, and this insert wasn't in there. I think she had like 40 bucks on this thing too, but there's no insert, and I didn't know, you know, I've never, I've seen these before, but without having this insert in there, I was like, well, what the heck is it? So I wasn't quite sure. And so I grabbed this quick and I said, you know, I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'll give you $5 for this one too. She's like, okay, sold. So then there was another gentleman there, and he said, well, that's a, you know, live center. And I was kind of confused because I was like, well, I don't, you know, what goes inside there? And he's like, well, there should be some inserts. And then it dawned on me. So then I went back in and I tried to find, you know, there should be a set of 6 or 7 inserts for these guys. And in a bag with some tool bits was this little insert. So I found the one insert, and she said, yeah, you can have that. And anyways, so now I got, you know, that's okay for $5 with the little live center. You know, it's got a grease zerk on it, so it might be an older one or whatever. You can grease her up. Maybe it's not. It looks pretty new, but there we go. $5 for that guy. So $30 for these 3 lathe tools. I was pumped about that. One more thing, they had this, a set of ball punches. They use them for, usually have like a block, like this isn't a good example, but a half rounded, and then you lay like a sheet of metal or whatever on there, and then you punch it, and then you can get like a round divot in a piece of metal or something. But I asked her about those, and she's like, oh, you can just have those. I think she had like $1 or $2 on them. She's like, yeah, you take them. And then one more thing here. Another thing she just gave me, which I thought was very nice of her, was a whole assortment of, I don't know if you can see that there, but those are little itty bitty end mills. I separated them all out. There's like a 32nd and a 16th, and this is probably a 1/4 inch, but there's a bunch of little tiny end mills. Stubby bit, that came from something else. Whole bunch of center drills, little tiny itty bitty center drills, like, you know, the shank on them is 1/8 of an inch, all the way up to, you know, 3/16 1/4 inch. So a bunch of those guys, then some random, you know, little end mill. One side's broken off, but the other side's brand new. Some random drill bits. Some of them are okay. There's a 2-flute mill that looks in good shape. Here's another 2-flute that looks in good shape. Morse. Both these are Morse. So she gave me that too. I was like, oh, it's okay. You know, I can, for free, you know, you never want to turn down free tools, even though some of them are broken or these bits are dull. But, you know, for free, I can, there's a 90-degree taper center thing. But yeah, that was awesome. So I got quite a bit of stuff there for not much money. Next thing I want to show you guys, look at that. I got my lathe partially apart, got it started. And then let me swing around here and I'll show you all my other parts I got painted, because I said I was going to redo my heavy 10. I got it back. And let's take a look at it. Alright, so there is the bed. All painted, finished, scraped. Hopefully you can see the scraping there. It looks really cool. Looks really nice. He did a really good job on it. So I stripped it, primed it, 2 coats of an implement paint with a hardener in it. So hopefully that holds up good. And then I got parts kind of strewn out. There's my tailstock and my apron. And there is, let's zoom out here a little bit. Whoop. Here is the bottom of my saddle. I had this flipped over because some guys wanted to see some photos of this. But that's the turkite that they put on the bottom of the saddle. So he said they glue this on both sides, and I think he said they ground this first, and then they glue this on, and then they scrape this to the bedways. So there's some over here too. Then I also think he did some scraping here, which is kind of cool. But look at all my parts. Gearbox, my covers. These are some parts I have painted. It's a long process. Cover plate, my you know, random parts, it's getting there. Here's a knob I kind of halfway polished the other day for my back gear. But yeah, there we go. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. I got the bed, I got the cabinet worked on a little bit. Hopefully the next couple weeks here I'll be able to get most of this guy together. It's been a while. It sucks not having a lathe to work on and do anything. I feel like I'm kind of naked without it, but we'll get there. I told you guys about my chucks. Look at that. So those are my 4 chucks I got with my lathe. I'm going to tell you a little more about these, but this is an independent scroll 3-jaw, scroll 3-jaw, a scroll 4, and an independent 4. So I mean, these 3 aren't a big deal, but this is cool. I want to show you guys this thing. I've seen a few pictures of these guys, but I've never really seen one in person. And I'm going to test that out and see how it works, see how accurate it is, and I'll of course clean all these up. But and this guy back here, that's an 8-inch. All the rest of these are 6, I believe. This one might be a 5. No, I think that's a 6, 6, 6, and a 8, 7 or an 8, whatever. This guy is a little big for that lathe, but that's okay. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's about it. That's kind of a little update of what I've got going on right now. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know. I can't talk today. And I plan on making some more videos here. I'm in my finals week here this week and next week, but I only got a few exams, so next Wednesday I got a month off, so I got time to do stuff here. So I hopefully will be making quite a few videos in August. So I do appreciate all you guys subscribing and watching. I've got close to 500 subscribers now, so that's awesome. I was pumped. My goal was by the end of the year to have 500, and it's looking like I'm going to have over 1,000 by the end of the year, hopefully more. I always appreciate every single subscriber I have, so thank you guys. As always, if you have any questions, like I said, let me know. Please feel free to give me a thumbs up. Those are awesome. They help me out quite a bit. And like them. Whatever, I can't think today. Anyways, subscribe. That's what I forgot. If you guys want to subscribe, if you haven't already, please feel free to do that. Alright, till next time, stay safe on your machines. And I'll be coming back with more stuff, better stuff. I got a lot of cool ideas coming up. I just gotta get my lathe back together. So, till next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.